Welcome back to Upgrade My Rituals. My name is Kevin, and I help stressed out overachievers try to design the ideal day. So instead of trying to create a whole bunch of new habits and positive things they want to do in their life, we look at the 24 hours and design the perfect day through custom routines. And ultimately today is a little conversation around my morning routine, specifically around my workout. And why I'm going to talk to you about my workout is a broader and bigger concept for intentionality. We go through our day-to-day, and especially our routines, and sometimes we lose sight of the intention behind it. I was working out and I realized that I have been pretty much lifting the same exact amount of weight for a long time. And I'm saying to myself, there's something wrong here, right? Because I either should be being able to lift more weight, or throughout time, or gaining more muscle. Something should be happening. And the reason why this really all came about was because of my diet. So not to again go off the rails here, but I started getting very, very serious back about 3 months ago with the ketogenic diet, and that has done wonders for me. It's to each his own. But with that opened up a whole new world about learning about calories and learning about, how to actually grow muscle. And what happened was I realized, oh, wow, not only does it matter about the type of food you eat, but it does matter about the amount of food you eat. So for me, the reason why I wasn't growing my muscles or my strength was because I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't in a calorie surplus. So enough of the bodybuilding jargon here. I just wanted to give you that background because that was what kind of triggered me to realize that there are many different ways that we can craft intentionality in our daily routines, whether it's our morning routine, whether it's our PM routine, something in the middle, the after work, the before work, whatever it may be for you. We ideally want to be intentional behind what we're actually doing. So for instance, with my workout, I actually started taking very copious notes of what I'm doing. Because if I bench press and I bench press, 200 pounds, right? The next time I bench press, I should either be able to put up that 200 pounds one more rep, or maybe do 205 pounds for the same amount of reps, or do it for an extended period of time. So I should make some type of progress. If I'm on my phone and watching YouTube videos in between my sets, I am not being intentional about my workout. If I am not tracking my macro nutrients and tracking my calories, I'm not being intentional about my nutrition. So what does this all mean to you? Why does this conversation even matter? Well, what we're going to talk about in today's episode is a couple of different ways to actually make your routines a little bit more intentional so you can be a little bit more mindful of what you're doing, and therefore to actually see progress of what you've chosen to do in that routine. So there's really only two ways to do this. There is the long-term strategy and the short-term strategy. The long-term strategy is something I call the goal hierarchy. So for instance, if my goal in my workout is to lift just a little bit more weight the next time I come around to that same body part. Well, what is the goal of that? Well, the goal of that is to gain, say, 30 pounds of muscle by next year, whatever, random number. Well, what's the goal behind that? The goal behind that is to become the best version of myself. Well, what's the goal behind that? The goal behind that is to live a healthy and vibrant and fruitful life. So, as you can see, is that what we want to remind ourselves is what your goal is, yes, in the moment, but the hierarchy of those goals. Ultimately, not even just the goal, but maybe your yearly goals and your areas of improvement, your domains, if you will, and then your life vision. And then, of course, the short-term strategy to kind of keep that in the front and center of our mind is a couple of different ways. One proactive and one reactive. One, for proactive, we have to write things down. And that's the best way that works for me. So in my ritual design planner, the one I use, I'm always writing my whys. So every day I have a why, actually 3 whys for my big 3 things I want to accomplish that day. But if, for instance, I know that I need to be more intentional about my workout, I may choose to write in the capture section something that reminds me to be intentional about my workout. So live a fruitful and vibrant and healthy life, or something like that. Be a protector for my family, be a role model for my family. Something those types of the goal hierarchy being actually written down somewhere. It could be in the planner, it could be on a piece of paper, it doesn't really matter. What this will do is ultimately craft a practice of mindfulness. So another way to actually do that is to meditate. So the reason I meditate is, yes, to become a more clear-minded person, but also to practice being able to be mindful in the moment. So if I wake up and I have an hour and 45-minute morning routine, I want to try to be mindful throughout every activity in that routine. So mindful with every pump and every rep of my exercise, mindful when I am doing my breathing and my stretching, mindful when I'm reading, all these things, and being in the moment. That will ultimately, feed into the rest of our lives. So if you practice meditation, that will ultimately start trickling into the other areas of your routines. And if you don't, then I would suggest to actually start meditating. Give it a shot. And lastly, the reactive approach on the short-term side of things is ditching the phone. The phone is just always there. It's always there, and we can always be distracted by it, even if it's a good thing. For me, like I say, I want to put on YouTube videos. And the reason why I want to put on YouTube videos is not necessarily to watch them, but to listen to them, right? So I'll do some type of, motivational thing. There's a million motivational videos out there, or maybe some type of fitness diet explanation on something that I'm learning in the background while I'm working out. But what happens is that over time, I got to change the videos, and I got to go to the next one, and then I get distracted by that one. Ditch the phone, retire it throughout your routines that you actually want to be intentional for, and then when you're ready, take it out again and do what you need to do. So that's a shorter, truncated version of today's episode, because of the fact that being intentional, I think, is super important, and it was in the moment. It's kind of what I'm going through right now, and I think we can all be reminded that we all can be a little bit more mindful in not only our daily routines, but our everyday life. If you like this video, hit like and consider subscribing if you aren't already. And of course, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified of the next time I release a video. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.